This is Generations Connect.
And welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning in to Generations Connect. This is a special podcast series brought to you by Council for Third Age and VintageRadio.SG. So my name is Aloysius. I'm the kind of moderator for this little podcast. Today we're going to talk about food. First of all, our guests, a very familiar voice on Vintage Radio SG. He is none other than Mr. Abel Gan. Hi, Abel.
Hi.
Now, Abel is a musician and former keyboardist for the Western Union Band, which was active in the 70s and produced many local chart toppers. And we've got one of our interns here. Her name is Nathania. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so today we're talking about food, which is, like everybody's favorite thing, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that, nowadays a lot of people have a lot of influences. There's a lot of trends going on. So I'd like to maybe start off by, going back in time, Abel.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, and it might be a bit long time back lah.
Correct. At least 70 years ago.
70 over years already. So, what was a staple like for you back then? Was it rice or some other thing?
Okay, during my time, the hawkers come to our house.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They push the hawker like char kway teow.
Or they have it on the back of the hands.
Kokomi.
Yeah.
And the Western food, they come in the van,
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like almost home delivery lah, but cooked right in front of you.
No, they will come and then they will shout and say, char kway teow, and the kokomi, talk.
Right.
So you go out. And during my time, right, char kway teow come, we bring our own eggs.
Oh, yes, that's right. So you pay less and then you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 eggs of you, right?
Yeah. Right, then they got this one, they call it long kai, right, on the bike, the food is behind. So we don't go to hawker centers, no, they come.
Oh, they come to you, right?
Fish and chips will come in the night.
Oh, really? Fish and chips some more?
Yeah, fish and chips,
Huh.
the Western food.
Wow. The thing is, I remember probably back then, there's also rojak where they will come to you, right?
Yeah, and practically most of the food.
Okay, cool. But, nowadays we got things like bubble tea and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the attraction of bubble tea actually, Nat?
I think they get really creative with coming up with new drinks and flavors that always seems to attract the youngsters. For example, they add cheese on bubble tea and they have different rainbow-colored drinks. I also think that maybe it's the way they publicize the drinks that also tends to attract youths, as we are all suckers for these kinds of aesthetic things, that we can post pictures of. I guess youngsters just love sweet things now. Everyone's going crazy, like bubble tea, different kinds of coffee, matcha, acai. I guess everyone just has a sweet tooth now.
Yeah, and I look at Abel's face and go, what's that going on? see me
But even
lah.
now you go to like the Indian store, right? They also have dinosaur.
Yeah. All the pratas
In which
are
I
like...
say, what's dinosaur?
Then
Then
you
they
lah.
put masala. They put masala in the tea and all that, which I don't drink. I just drink teh tarik. That's it.
Oh, okay, Abel, just to check with you, right? Ice cream back in the day, what were the flavors that you can remember?
Oh, ice cream, as usually, what they are still selling now,
Oh, no, I mean back in the day.
back the same. Yeah, same.
So they got red
those
bean.
vendors, ice cream vendor, you see right on the road,
Potong
right?
ice
$1.
cream, right?
Yeah. Then you have the bread, right? Yeah.
Right.
Same.
Nowadays, you don't see that much of it, but I don't know.
Or you go to Punggol Point, where near the sea, right? The guy will come with the van and bring out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, didn't know that. So we learned something new today.
Then you go to Chinatown, near the MRT, also there's a vendor.
I know there's always an ice cream truck outside my house, actually.
Yeah.
And like nowadays.
Yeah, like right downstairs my HDB.
So it's selling the brand new fangled...
No. like
the old one, they
the
cut
old
the
ice
thing,
cream truck with the bread,
Right.
Yeah.
So they either scoop or they have the potong ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay, Nat, what's your favorite flavor from this good old ice cream store?
I usually get the raspberry ripple. I don't know. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it or tried it because it might be a new flavor. But growing up, it was always one of the flavors that I always really enjoyed.
Raspberry ripple. Was there raspberry ripple back in your day?
No. Either vanilla or chocolate.
Vanilla, chocolate, got durian also.
Durian.
Then got red bean.
Red bean, yes, of course.
Then got jagong.
Jagong, that one is the stick one.
Steak one lah, the potong one lah, yeah. Is it there available nowadays?
Yeah.
They still have that?
Now still they have it.
But I think there's like a lot more flavors now, like they upgraded.
Oh.
Like chocolate chip, I don't know.
Wow,
all those
really?
weird things, yeah.
Right,
And also more expensive.
of course. Oh, Abel. What about the packed ice in the plastic tubes kind of thing? Can you remember that?
Yeah. But the best is ice kacang,
Oh, yeah.
Right? They pick it into a ball.
Ice
Then
kacang
you
ball.
suck it.
Yes.
Then with 2 person, as in cut half can, right? And you suck it, Nowadays, no more.
Have you ever tried that, Nat?
No? I've never even heard of that.
Ice ball.
Yeah, no.
Essentially, it's like a snowball,
Uh-huh.
right? But it's packed ice,
Yeah.
shaved ice, and then they'll just pour in syrup.
That's it.
Yeah. No. Some you pay a bit more last time. I remember you pay 5 cents more. You get the
Inside the thing.
no. You get milk.
Yeah, milk. But no, like what you see now, the kacang and all that.
Oh, that one is ice kacang lah, not in the ball itself.
And I need pay what? 5 cents that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prata, I eat 5 cents.
Yeah. Now it's what, $1?
$1.50.
Plus $1.50.
Well, if you want
maybe.
the egg on it lah. Or kosong.
Depends on the place, man.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so Abel, I would like to know, right, as a child, let's say, you're 10 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your typical food that you eat every day?
Char kway teow. Char kway teow been many, many years.
Right. So back then, char kway teow, how was it like? Does it have the sausages in there?
No.
No sausages.
Only egg, taugeh, and cockles.
Egg, taugeh, and cockles. And cockles is whether you want or not. Like.
Yeah, correct.
Right. What about that pork lard thing?
Oh, that one is a must for my age.
Ned, what about you? Not now, but, where maybe 10 years ago.
It's a bit hard to remember, but what I remember growing up is that I didn't really eat much food from outside. I think most of the foods that I ate would be either made by my grandmother or my mom. But I vividly remember my grandmother would always make these delicious Chinese desserts for me. For example, she would make her own chrysanthemum tea or chrysanthemum desserts or ginkgo nut desserts and all those different weird Chinese desserts that you get. And they will also make me these Chinese soups.
Oh, the herbal soups.
With like mostly just chicken and then another fried vegetable and rice.
Right.
Almost every day. And then growing up, I was so sick of it.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
okay,
but
so the soup, is it like, really vile tasting, like bitter and...
sometimes, man, and it's like dark. You know those like dark herbal Chinese soups? Yeah, I used to hate it growing up. I would dread like having dinner every day. But then now that I've grown up and I eat outside more, it kind of reminds me of a taste of home, like home cooked food. It's like very comforting. So now I look forward to it.
So that's herbal chicken soup
Yep.
and all those kind of stuff. As a child, did you have that, Abel?
Yeah. But I'm a Peranakan, so our food is more like mixed Chinese and Malay. Like asam pedas. Because my mother cooks, we eat at home.
Right.
Right?
What about snacks? What's your favorite snack as a kid?
They have same what you see now in the snacks, like it's almost the same 10 years ago.
No, but I think as a kid, if I remember, right, they have those dried fruits and all that, right? The skin of the pomelo and all that.
Yeah. That one, they actually you go to the shop, they put it in cans.
Is it?
Yeah, right? Like biscuits and all that.
But back then, was
even
it...
today, you go to Tampines, they have shops, right?
So they're trying to relive the old days.
Yeah.
I remember paying like 10 cents for one packet in a plastic bag.
Correct. Yeah, orange skin.
Orange
and all
peel,
that.
yeah. What about you? Have you ever tried that, Nat?
Yeah, I actually really like those, especially like those small cubes. I think it's like hoton. I used to always eat them. Like from those old Chinese shops, like they sell the dried fruits. And I actually still to this day very much love snacking on those snacks like dried prunes or plums or even dried mangoes and hoton too.
Well, nowadays it's actually very sanitized. Like, they do it in a factory. Back in the day, Abel, can you remember how they actually prepare all
They
those
do it
things?
at home.
Yeah.
Everything prepared at home. Until now, right? You cannot even make onde-onde at home. My uncle and my auntie used to make onde-onde at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, HDB flat. Then they come. Cannot.
Not hygienic.
Yeah, but fantastic. I think people think it's not hygienic, but the food back then was fantastic.
Well, it was tastier. Tastier.
Yeah, with the sweat.
Well, I still remember as a kid also walking by, right? Then you see those very industrious people at home, especially on the ground floor, right? They will have those big baskets, flat baskets, and then the dried fruits out there sunning in the sun. And then after that, you see that they will pack into bags and then they will sell it.
Even they want to make the kueh, right? They will go to like botanical garden, take the flower.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they pick in the jungle. My uncle go and pick,
Okay, jungle lah, botanical gardens
Yeah,
also.
also as long they can see the thing, right, they will stop. If they drive a motorbike or a car, they will stop and pick it. Then they go back, they put in a newspaper so that it will last longer.
Right. Back in the day, there's a lot of fruit trees that's available, right? So
that one, because we always climb and steal the thing, and it tastes better.
because you actually took it yourself lah.
Yeah, we climb and we steal, chiku and all that.
Oh, chiku is one thing that you don't get much nowadays, right?
You still have it in Sing Song,
Well, you know what, Nathania, do you know what is a chiku?
No,
Not the chico pit, but
I have no idea. I don't.
it's a brown fruit, quite tasty. It looks almost like a kiwi fruit kind of shape, right? But it's inside is brown. It tastes completely
like
different.
one black seed.
Yeah.
I might have to try it.
You have to. Chiku, Chiku,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay, all this talk about food and all this, I'm going to test you now, both of you, Nat and Abel, on your knowledge on food, but it's not from what you know, but what you likely don't know. So, Abel, I'm going to ask you first a few questions about the trends nowadays for food. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, yeah? Have this Dalgona coffee.
What is that?
Okay, let me explain. It's also known as whipped coffee, right? So they put a coffee and they go.
to drink latte.
You only know. Oh,
Where
okay.
They put sign and all that.
All the pictures and all that. Okay, but this one, Dalgona coffee, also known as whipped coffee, right, went viral on social media back in 2020 when the COVID came, right? Now, which country did this trend originate from? I'm going to give you a choice. Okay, is it Singapore, A, or B, Malaysia, C, South Korea, or D, Japan?
Singapore.
No lah, not so inventive. It's actually C, South Korea.
Because nowadays Singapore make a lot of things, right? Yeah, even
That's
now
true.
gin all Singapore make. So,
Okay, but the answer is C, South Korea. That came from South Korea, the whipped coffee. Okay, here's another question for you. What is the current food trend in Singapore? I give you 4 choices. A, mala flavored food. B, bubble tea. C, mookata. Or D, all of the above.
all of the above.
Oh, you anyhow whack on, right?
No, I eat mookata, I eat hot pot, I eat all.
And then you drink bubble tea also.
Bubble tea sometimes I drink, but I don't.
I tell your wife, you are too much sugar for you. Okay. All right. Third question for you, Abel. What kind of food do you think acai bowl is?
Japanese.
Japanese, ah? No lah.
No,
No, not Japanese.
Because my age, I don't eat all this food.
Well, actually, you may have eaten it. You just didn't know that it's actually a Brazilian dessert.
Brazilian.
Yes, it's a Brazilian dessert made out of
Sounds Japanese.
frozen and mashed fruit on an acai palm, which has berries. So basically, it's just a bowl of berries, all fruits, all very good for you. You should try it.
Okay, I will try it.
Okay, Nathania, it's now your turn. Let's see if you can, score better than Abel.
right.
Okay, he's got 2 down, 1 correct. Let's see, this is quite easy. All right, so first question for you. Which of the following is not a food or drink that was enjoyed during the 50s to the 60s? I give you a choice of 5.
Okay.
A, ice balls. B, con lo mein, which is Cantonese dried noodles. C, gao lak, which is roasted chestnuts.
Okay.
D, popiah. And E, bird's nest drink. Which one of these is not a food or drink that was enjoyed during the 50s to the 60s before you were born?
That's a tough one.
One.
I'm gonna have to go with B.
B, con lo mein.
Yes.
No, actually, it's one of the staple back then. The answer is actually gao lak, roasted chestnuts.
There were no roasted chestnuts back then.
Not the
Very
50s to the
happy,
60s.
Really?
Yeah, also.
Only after that. Yeah, know your history. Okay, never mind. 1 down, 2 to go. You just have to get at least 1 right.
Okay.
All right, second question for you. Ice balls. That's a popular dessert. Has drizzles of colored palm sugar syrup and evaporated milk, but does not contain ingredients like red beans, jelly cubes, and atachi. Is that true or false?
True.
Correct. The ice balls don't have that. It's actually the ice kacang that actually has all these ingredients inside. Right? Ice ball is just literally 1 ball of ice, and then you hantam all the syrup, and maybe if you are rich enough, you got a bit of milk lah.
Yeah.
Okay, not bad. 1 up, 1 down.
Yay.
Question number 3. This is for you, Nathania. Exotic meats such as pangolin, tapirs, crocodile, and snake meat were sold in the market during the 1960s. Is that true or false?
I'm just gonna say it might be true.
You're right. It's true. You know, you actually can eat crocodile meat and all that, right?
Oh.
Back in the day, and you can buy that in the market. Of course, not that easy to get the meat itself. Sometimes the people who sell it are missing a couple of fingers. Okay, so we have a winner actually. Nathania, you got 2 correct, 1 wrong, and Abel, you are lemah.
Old man cannot think properly.
That's your excuse. Okay, well, you know what? Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. I think, one thing that we can realize is that, food is actually very common amongst us all, be it young or old, it's something that you enjoy.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
I think, Nathania, for you, having spoken with Abel, right, don't you think that you would have enjoyed some of the stuff?
Yes, especially the ice balls. I can't seem to get my mind off them. I wish I could find them now. And also those hawkers cooking food right outside your house. That truly sounds like an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah,
I'm
especially
thinking
when
of,
people come selling at your doorstep,
Yeah.
freshly cooked food.
it's like the olden day Grab delivery, but better.
No, this one is called Grab Cook for you.
Yeah, better. It's like
Yeah.
Correct.
plus points.
Yeah, and then, it's done right in front of you. I still remember the rojak. They will serve it in the leaf instead of a plate, right? And somehow very, environmentally friendly. No styrofoam, nothing. They actually use a leaf, right? And then they
Then
put
you bring your plate out. No?
it's either that you bring your plate or they serve
Bring
you.
out after they fry finish, put on the plate.
So food has evolved with each generation, and when we share about how we consume food and the memories that's associated with it, it is really a great way of understanding more about each other's generations. And honestly, this is one of the best intergenerational conversation starters. Why? Because we all love food. Now, if you like this episode, we have other episodes of Generations Connect, and you can find them on the VintageRadio.SG app and website, as well as on the C3A website at www.c3a.org.sg. And if you want to learn more about courses and activities for seniors, you can also visit the C3A website. Once again, that's www.c3a.org.sg. Well, Abel, thank you so much for your time.
Welcome.
And Ned, I hope you've learned something new
Yes,
as
I
much
learned
as
a lot.
Abel had.
Yeah. Thank you for asking me to come.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Generations Connect.